Peter Thiel's sugar baby just lost his VP status, and this happened kind of legally, dare I say. JD Vance's demotion has gone public. He's kind of fired, but like definitely deeply humiliated. And I think of it this way. If you've worked in an office before, you know that every office has one of those people who tries to be the boss's favorite, and they end up making everyone around them hate them. Imagine though that person is one Mitch McConnell style tumble away from the literal presidency, and that they finally brown nosed their way into a historic first of the worst. I really need you to pay attention here, because while Fox News is about to try and frame this as some sort of strategic pivot, the reality is so much more embarrassing, and we're here for it because it involves a massive security failure, a staffer exodus, and a move so insulting it tells you exactly what his administration thinks of women. Pay attention to this next job. You're going to realize how much the West Wing is a complete and total dumpster fire right now. And between all the other dumpster fires, this one's kind of getting buried. And real quick, I'm Lauren Paritra. Willa Paritra is snoozing behind me. Listen, we are blazing ahead of Katie Miller, who is the wife of Stephen Little Bitch Miller. And we got to maintain our lead out of pure principle, but we also got to widen that lead. So consider every sub, every hype, every comment, 6 words or more, every follow across platforms. We need your help in hitting 100K here on YouTube and 1,000 right on Spotify. So consider every action and FU to Katie and Stephen Little Bitch Miller. JD Vance, it's, where do I even start here? It's hard, or I should say it's rare, to find something that can really unify both the left and the right, that we can all agree on. One of those things is corruption. Sometimes one of those things is Erica Kirk's behavior. But JD Vance, if it was a Venn diagram of things the left and the right can get along on, the center is despising JD Vance. Because whether he's trying to like pretend he's the man of the people or a high level diplomat, no matter who this man is or what room he is in, nobody likes him because he keeps reinventing himself based off of whoever he needs to impress in that moment, whoever can bring him closer to perceived power.
I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I'm definitely not going to vote for Trump because I think that he's projecting very complex problems onto simple villains.
He wrote a book about working class struggle and became a venture capitalist. Then he became a MAGA populist. He was the never Trump guy. You guys have heard the soundbite? And now he's his biggest defender. He is a doormat. And he's an ugly doormat too, so that doesn't help. So look at his recent diplomatic trip to Islamabad. He went over there to close a deal on the Iran negotiations. He was supposed to do a final and best offer type of situation. He came back with absolutely nothing. He failed. He looked like a kid who forgot his homework while also somehow like managing to mansplain and lecture the teacher. Then just this weekend, we had the Washington Hilton disaster on Saturday. And while whatever you feel about that, we can probably agree on that the truth is that there were shots fired by this friendly federal assassin person that they're trying to paint a picture of. And JD Vance was rushed out of there. And word on the street is that the internal finger pointing his way has been brutal. So even his team is jumping ship. Buckley Carlson just quit. Trump publicly called Tucker a low IQ loser over Iran. And his son didn't stick around to find out what that meant for his career. Tucker Carlson's audience watches Vance. Tucker's viewers are presumably Vance voters. So when Trump attacks Tucker and Buckley ends up walking out of Vance's office, those voters notice. Vance just lost a direct line to his own base. When the people are starting to bounce and they're kind of your last standing, it's not looking so good for JD Vance. So Vance is, as we know, so focused on keeping Trump happy, he's burning every other relationship he has. As the saying goes, nobody votes for the vice president. They just wake up one day and he's there, dead weight. And speaking of dead weight and things nobody asked for that deliver nothing, let's talk about something that actually brings results. Today's episode is brought to you by Brickhouse Nutrition. Everyone's talking about weight loss injections because the results are so dramatic. We see them online all the time. They work by lowering blood sugar and reducing appetite. So what if you're looking to lose weight, but you're not interested in painful weekly injections, especially when you hear some of those intense side effects? That's why doctors have created a weight loss supplement called Lean, and the results are remarkable. The studied ingredients in Lean are said to lower your blood sugar, burn fat by converting it into energy, and curb your appetite and cravings so that you're not as hungry. Lean is for frustrated dieters with 10 or more pounds to lose. Let's get you started with 20% off and free rush shipping so you can add lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan. Visit takelean.com and enter code LOREN. That's a promo code of Lauren for 20% off at takelean.com. Okay, now back to the good stuff. Starting this week, JD Vance is officially taking over. He's officially taking over as Caroline Leavitt. He's now your Mr. Press Secretary, the White House Press Secretary. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Vice President of the United States standing at the podium, yelling at Caitlin Collins and explaining why the price of eggs is up and how a woman got into the correspondence dinner is a liberal's fault. Because maybe he will even wear tweed blazer sets from Amazon too. America first, baby. It's the ultimate historic demotion. We have not seen this in history. And think of it this way. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And yes, leaders, and I'm doing air quotes if you're listening, should be with the people. They should understand and respect the roles that allow them to do their jobs. They should value them. But in this administration, they clearly don't. So it feels like, this is kind of how I'm framing it up in my mind. It feels like the CEO of a company being forced to spend her weekends working the drive-through because she's the only one tough enough to handle the customers. See what I'm saying? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And here's the real tea. Why JD? And why this job? And why now? Well, besides the fact that all the West Wing girlies are knocked up, Caroline Leavitt with her 60-year-old landlord, she's like 9 or 10 months pregnant, Katie Miller with Elon Musk, and Usha with Satan Jr. And at the root of all of this, here's where it really comes to a head. At the root of all this, they do not respect JD Vance. And they do not respect women. This administration does not respect women. Think about it. They love to peddle these talking points about traditional values. But look at it. Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary role, has been defined by women, especially with this administration. Caroline Leavitt, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, nutty as it comes, Kayleigh McEnvy. By putting JD Vance in that spot, they are telling you what they think of him. And they think of him at the level they think of women. And listen, the job itself, they handed him. Let's talk about this role. It's probably the most publicly punishing, lowest status, visible role in the building. The press secretary absorbs the daily attacks from the media, so nobody else has to. It's kind of a shield job. Being in PR, being in press, it is a grind. And you don't give the vice president this job because you respect them. Because listen, to them, the work of women and the role of women in American society to this administration is they see women as birthing vessels and placeholders. And the moment things get serious or a brawler is needed, they swap out the woman for a man, even if that man is a VP who is so bad at his actual job that they had to find some busy work. They had to find something else for him to get lost and do. This statement says, this job is so easy that a vice president can do it as a side hustle, while simultaneously admitting that JD Vance is as useful as a substitute human shield for the press corps. JD Vance has also said that leaders without children don't have a real stake in this country, which I take as saying that people, especially women, matter less to them. They matter less if they don't have kids. When you add his focus on low birth rates, his pro-baby BS, the pro-natalist movement, which is largely a white supremacist narrative, and you also add in his support for abortion limits after Dobbs versus Jackson's Women's Health Organization, it comes across as prioritizing women having children over their ability to, make our own choices, God forbid. So JD Vance came back from Iran with nothing. A complete failure on the administration's most urgent foreign policy crisis. The normal response to a high-profile failure is, let's just sideline this fool instead of defending him or giving him something meaningful to recover with. They put him behind a podium. Presumably, he's going to show up in a tweed Amazon blazer set, and he's going to be answering questions about egg prices. I could see it now. His own press staffer, Buckley Carlson, is out Trump hasn't publicly defended him once this week, not after the Hilton, not after Iran, not after any of these resignations. His administration, Trump, is silent. And that is the loudest possible signal. So you don't assign your vice president, the vice president of the United States, to do some busy temp work unless you've already mentally moved on from him. Okay. And again, I'm Lauren Paritra. We're pushing for 100,000 subs here. This is our second channel. If you've been with me since the beginning, you know that a network stole my original channel, gave it to a man, rebranded it, didn't even let me say bye. And we are building back. And if JD Vance can handle the White House press corps, you can handle hitting that subscribe button. Let's hit that subscribe button. Let's hit that milestone before JD Vance decides he wants to take over my YouTube channel. Okay. And follow us on Spotify. Give us a rating there. Follow. So many of you guys are listening, but make sure you're hitting that follow button too. It means the world for us. And it keeps Willet and the Biscuit Factory and us off the streets and yelling at our computers and into our phones. So back with more.